What's going on, everybody? By the way, thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on archive. This was just, I was not planning at all to be up this late doing any type of videos, that's for sure. Yet here I am. Okay, Luis Ortiz. Let me see if I can bring up my, if I can bring this up really quick. Hold on. So take me a moment to bring this up. Mauricio Suleiman tweeted out, WBC Boxing has received confirmation from VADA testing that Luis Ortiz has tested positive for a banned substance under the clean boxing program, right? And I'm trying to find, apparently Luis Ortiz replied, but apparently he's taking blood pressure medicine, and that's the reason he popped. This is crazy shit, man. This is now the third opponent. And of course, now we got all these conspiracies that Wilder is the one. And now, he's making people pop dirty, and it's all Wilder's fault. And, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Okay? You just can't make it up. I can't find Luis Ortiz's. I heard that he left a message. I don't know. What's up, guys? I can't find that. If you guys wanted to chat, I'm going to be here for maybe like 45 minutes. If you guys wanted to chat, I only do it through email. By the way, I'm not going to put it in the chat. So, what's up, guys? I don't know what to think about this. I mean, it's too early, It's too early to know what the hell is going on. I really hope that it's something that they can just let slide, hopefully nothing serious. And maybe it is because of the so-called medication and all that, and then we could get the fight on. Because I want to see the fight, right? I'm tired of fights getting canceled and guys getting popped and shit not happening. It's frustrating as a boxing fan for this stuff not to happen. By the way, really quick, I was in Dan Man's hangout right now. I haven't been in a hangout with a shitload of people like that in a while, in a minute. Okay. But very interesting stuff. Make sure you check out Dan Man's channel. Subscribe to his channel. Whoever wants in the whoever wants on this, there you go. You guys got to send me the your email, right? And I'll email out to you. Let's see, let me send this one first. I don't do the link in the chat. I know Dan the Man did it, but I just don't do that. So. All right, one invite's out. I wonder if Doc, hey Doc, I'm going to send you a link. I don't know, you haven't asked for it, but I'm going to send you one just in case. I'm inviting you. I'm voluntolding you. Now, keep in mind, guys, the fight could still happen. Okay, it's not like they have not announced that the fight is done and that's it. So let's have a little. We're gonna go to sleep tonight, and then we'll find out tomorrow. We'll have a clear picture of what's going on. Okay, we'll have a clear picture of what the hell's going on. Luis Ortiz's Instagram. All right. Dan, man, I thought you were done, bro. Look what the hell's going on. It's all good. Sometimes I know. I know. Sometimes I gotta get off the shit. Sometimes. Can I inbox it through YouTube? It's a hassle, bro. Let me try this. All right.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Conspiracies, apparently.
Yeah. It's all good. I mean, I know I got loud. I only get loud in those because it's a lot of people, and it's the only way.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Yep.
It's just the way it is. But
Yeah, I didn't take nothing.
I don't want it. I don't want
it.
anybody to think I was beefing with people and shit. That's not far from the truth. I just get loud, you know. That's all.
That's what dudes do when we talk, man.
Yeah. But as far as the whole, it's frustrating, man. It's we know guys are getting tested, but these should be rare occurrences, right? I mean, you would think. I mean,
I can understand it becoming a little more common because testing's more common. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, to only to a certain extent, and yeah, it is. The heavyweight division, though, is where I'm particularly irritated at this point.
yeah. Hey, Doc, I have a question. So I send you the link. Are you able to send inboxes to Red Fox?
I can give him. I can share the link. Yeah, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I don't know. I don't know how to do that on the inbox. So.
Okay, yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Right. What do you guys think, man? What does Wilder do if this fight gets canceled? Like, what happens? Because I don't know how it's gonna. I just don't know, right? I don't know how. I don't. I don't know who he could fight. Like, I guess Parker's out there, but maybe the Parker fight. I mean, there's White. There's
Yeah, I was gonna say Parker, or if we're talking just in a perfect world, Dillian White on an undercard, on the undercard of like Pulev or some shit like that.
yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
No, I know. I mean that as an example of what the kind of thing we're talking about.
I mean, it would actually help Wilder to be in the undercard of that fight, but
it would help the fight itself. Exactly.
People forget, but Hopkins, B-Hop was in the undercard of De La Hoya Sturm.
Yeah.
Peanut says Peanut can't smile. What the hell's going on? Well, why can't you smile, bro?
Red Fox, I sent the link to your private message on YouTube.
All right, cool. Grape Drank 666. That is on that's on Twitter. That's where we got it from.
NBT he sent me a message on Facebook. It looks like he's basically saying this is going to bring PP back.
PP's going to come back. What's his motherfucker come back? For those looking for the tweet, it's WBC Moro at WBC Moro. That's WBC MORO. That's Mauricio Suleiman. His official account is WBC Boxing has received confirmation from VADA testing that Luis Ortiz has tested positive for a banned substance under the clean boxing program. I do wish that they would know what it is already, so kind of know what it is,
Yeah, or at least, explain what the range of possibilities are, because otherwise it just implies, what I mean? People are just going to subconsciously jump to conclusions.
Yeah, because even if it turns out that it wasn't anything serious, it's going to be known as a dope now,
Yeah, and didn't Chisora get popped for like a friggin' Rockstar energy drink or some shit like that? I mean, eventually they let it off.
If it has that substance, but he should. In most cases, I mean, these drinks. I mean, they
my
tell you
point
what
is
you're.
they kind of just slapped him on the wrist for that one once they figured out what it was. It wasn't a big deal, like you're saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it could, like you say, turn out to be that. But by the way they word it, people are already getting
Did
it
I
started in the subconscious.
did I miss
So
anybody in the chat that wants to come on? Because I'm.
let me know and I'll send it to them.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Duck.
What's up, Red Fox? I think this is the first time you're on DStyle's channel.
Yep.
You've been in chat, but I mean like live here.
Yeah, first time on the live chat.
Live.
So truth and facts about boxing. I sent him the email. I don't know if he got it, but
All right, I'll send it on YouTube just to be double sure.
okay, cool.
I think I remember watching a live chat with you, Kelix, and a couple of guys talking about possibilities for Rocky. It was a joke video, really. Like you guys just making.
You were on?
No, I was watching it at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was that for the? I think that was with my friends, Factoid and Scott Hill. And,
Yeah,
and
but
Calix.
the one that YouTube flagged for no good reason.
No, this is a while back. I think
Okay, I got you.
it was about the what was it before Creed even came out? Like another Rocky.
Yeah, and
yeah.
some guys were saying like Adrian, like Apollo has been tapping Adrian this whole time.
What's up, fellas?
So they faked each other's
Hey,
deaths. What's up, man?
Not much, man. I'm trying. You sent this to me through Firefox, man. I was having a hard time trying to get in.
Oh yeah, Firefox. Yeah, I always use a Chrome window now to jump for the Hangout part because Firefox has gotten funky about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was having a hell of a time, so I just opened up my tablet. I'm just glad the internet is holding up down here, man.
I'm pretty sure by now boxing scene should have it up, right?
No, they don't.
Everybody's asleep.
They don't, because like I said, when I first got the message, I immediately hit up, sent a text message to Boxeo Cubano like, "Yo, man, what is this I'm hearing, man? Because if this is true, I'm finna eat a whole lot of fucking crow, you know."
No, what time is it in Mexico, DStyle? Isn't it like midnight? What's Suleiman doing out?
No, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's about it's like mountain time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's only one hour. So it's like midnight then.
Yeah, then like lower Mexico is maybe like central. And
Okay.
then it's even like if you go more Baja California, I mean it's western, you know.
Right.
I don't know if they have daylight savings and all that. I don't know about that, but
No, well, I know in Cuba and the Dominican Republic they don't.
okay. It's funny. I live in a border city, and I don't even know. So, you know.
Right. But now I'm not buying that whole theory, that whole conspiracy. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think he bought it either. Like I just think he was mad that the fight didn't, you know.
With low plays, I tend to think that way too, DStyle. But when it comes to low place, I've learned. I don't know,
never
man.
know, man.
You never know, dude. There's at least an even chance he does believe that.
Well, I mean, Ortiz just admitted that he tested positive because he's blood pressure. So it kind of derailed the whole conspiracy. It unraveled in a matter of 10 minutes. But this is crazy because I thought somebody was trolling us.
Hey, man, set it up.
But like, think about this, right? Like, talking about coincidences. We were talking about the fight, and then somebody posted in the chat, and it's not that I didn't believe the guy. I just thought they were trolling us.
Yeah, man,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're all debating about who's going to win the fight, and all of a sudden, but Ortiz just popped.
Synchronicity, yep.
And I think, right, like, a couple minutes before that, we were like, "Oh, let's just see Ortiz get popped." We're joking about it.
Somebody, somebody did make the joke. That's true.
So it's not that I didn't believe the guy that put it. I just felt he was trolling us. Like it sounds
Oh
something
yeah,
like I
no,
would do.
you know what? I'll be honest with you, man. When I first heard it, I kind of believed it because and I kind of believed it not because of Luis Ortiz, but because something like that when it gets out there, like that's not something I think people would spread. Whether you're a Wilder fan or you don't like Wilder or you're a Wilder fan, I don't think that's something you would spread if without making sure it was true because the backlash you'll get from doing it. So right away, I
Yeah.
was like, yo, I think that shit is true. Let's see what's going on. But I'm at least glad the one saving factor is okay. His team is responding right away. Like, listen, man, that he's taking blood pressure measures that was prescribed him by doctor. We sending you the evidence. So at least they're responding right away. But it's you know
But
what?
the concern I have is,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say
But
that
the
my
concern I have,
only issue is if you was taking blood pressure medicine that was prescribed by a doctor, how come that wasn't turned over to the WBC?
Yeah,
Right.
you should have applied
should
for a
have went to
TUE
Wilder.
in advance. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Actually, what the, I
Red
have
Fox, you
someone
broke
look
up,
at it
bro.
for him.
Repeat that. What'd you say?
You're
I
cutting
think
off a
by
little bit,
right,
Fox.
excuse me.
You were
You're
cutting
cutting
off a
out.
little bit.
Oh, sorry. What I'm saying is that Ortiz himself should have looked at the Wilder list, or the Wilder prohibited list, or somebody that works with him should have looked at the list.
Yeah, that's your team's job to know all those little details.
Right.
They should
Well,
have
no,
checked the
it's
medication.
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's the team's job to turn any medication you're taking over to the governing body. And that's my only concern. Like if it was blood pressure medicine, why wasn't that turned? Because this could have been avoided. He could have got it and been like, hey, is this because this blood pressure medicine before this tweet went out? So
I'm wondering if he took it prior to the fight being made.
Well, it should be a matter of record if it was prescribed by a doctor. You'll have a
yeah,
time
that's
when you
true.
know what I mean. It'll
That's
be
true.
in matter of public record. They have to keep records of when they first started prescribing it, and etc.
And on that, this is not the first time he's tested positive.
No, it's not. It's not. And
In
I think when he
fact,
tested
if you
positive the
Google it
first
now,
time,
the only one that pops up is a 2014 one.
The non-Jalone, and I don't remember what he popped for, but I wonder if it was non-Jalone.
He tried to play I believe he tried to play the tainted beef card or something like that.
horse meat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
in the history of people getting caught, no one has ever said, "Okay, I did it."
Right.
It's just it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But I just, but you think you think they'll let it pass? I mean,
If
Well, it
it's
depends on what it was
Maybe.
because remember it said banned substance, so we don't know what it was. It could have been something that's probably detrimental to him, like with Bermain Stavern. So
yeah.
but
Maybe
Marines
they'll
wasn't.
let it pass,
Yeah, go ahead, Red.
but I'm concerned about team. I'm not going to blame Team Wilder, but if you remember the reaction they had when they barely got enough information about Povetkin's situation, they were already on a plane back to the US. So I'm concerned that because of the experiences that Wilder's team has had with all this drug popping and this now, maybe they might just jump out of the fight. Which is not really them ducking, but I can understand based on the experience they had with different fighters that they tried to make fights with.
As long as he doesn't expect there to be an asterisk in the record books 50 years from now next to all these fights that didn't happen.
This arrow's gonna have a lot of asterisks, bro. I mean, holy shit, it's gonna have a lot of asterisks. But it is. I will say this, and I know this is why people get on the conspiracy. Anytime a coincidence happens, people think it's a conspiracy. But it is crazy. That it's three opponents.
And if And if Team Wilder does shy away from it because of this, you can't really blame them because, all right, let's say if they do go through with the fight, suppose they give Ortiz a chance, only for him to pop dirty on another test while they're in training and all of that stuff. So I can understand the hesitation if they have any.
Right. Yeah, that's what makes it difficult.
But like I said on Dan's Hangout, what pisses me off is just none of these guys are fighting each other. You know, it's ridiculous.
I honestly think, I mean, I thought, honest opinion, I thought Wilder was going to put this guy to sleep. And I still think he puts him to sleep.
But now we might not never know. You know, that's rather be wrong than not get to see the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
it's just, my thing is, this is now yet another opponent. And let's say he has to fight somebody else. And, you know, and like for me, it's when we start talking about Wilder versus Joshua, it's going to become, oh, who's Wilder fought? He hasn't beat anybody. And, you know, but he should have, assuming he would have won the fights, of course, Povek and Luis Ortiz now. You know, it's these guys should be on his resume, you know, and the fact that this one now may be canceled is frustrating.
Yeah, it's real frustrating, and
Yeah.
and you know what's even bad for this is, what if this was a situation where because Marcia Suleiman, you know, he's human. So what if this situation where he got some news, you know, and just kind of jumped the gun with what he put out, and then we find out, like we said later, it was like really no big deal or whatever, or it was a Bermain Stavern issue where it was something that was bad for him. In my opinion, this still kind of looks bad for Luis Ortiz because normally people don't stick around for the whole story. And they could still be like, yeah, Deontay Wilder fought him, but, you know, the guy popped dirty. So,
Right.
Plus Ortiz's history.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
And,
why.
and if Ortiz wins, people gonna be like, yeah, well, you know, you pop dirty. So, so it's, oh man, it's messed up.
The crazy part is that they didn't even deny it. Like they immediately went and said, well, he's blood pressure medicine.
Right. Yeah.
Like they knew it would come up.
There's just something about that, and to your point, why didn't they not
Tell him. Yeah.
Tell him.
Exactly. Why didn't you turn all this over? Because, you know, why wasn't this turned over? And that's.
And whenever you sign the paperwork, when someone's going to draw blood from you and you do like paperwork for it, I don't know who's gone to they ask you a shitload of questions. Like, are you on medications? Is the question. You know?
Right.
You'd think they'd ask for a copy of their doctor's records or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That would just include all of that information automatically.
Well, there's a lot of privacy laws and stuff like that, but they don't have to disclose it if they don't want to. But in this case, you got to. You know, if you know it's gonna.
Yeah, or else we end up with this kind of stuff. Exactly.
And I know they got Spanish copies, so I'm just saying. I don't want to hear, well, he doesn't speak English. Like, well, all right. Neither does my mom. She can Spanish paperwork.
Right. Yeah, Sammy Sosa. But, oh man. I mean, but you know what though? Honestly, either way it plays out, with this is gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouths, regardless. Because you're gonna have people who are screaming conspiracy now. Now, let's say the fight go forward. They still gonna scream conspiracy. They're gonna say, "Oh well, they just didn't want to lose the money, so they let the fight go forward." It's like this is a no-win situation. I mean, it's a no-win situation now.
Oh,
Like, let's break down. Like, let's say we wanted to do a conspiracy, right? And the conspiracy, I guess, is we don't want Wilder to fight Ortiz, because Ortiz is extremely dangerous and can knock out Wilder, and there goes the big money fight with Joshua. Isn't that the conspiracy?
That's basically the conspiracy.
Okay. So the scheme, the scheme is, well, we're gonna get the fight done, we're gonna get the fight signed, and then we're gonna do something extremely risky. We're gonna try and like, what do they tamper with the blood? Like what? You know, like what happens in that case? So if they get caught doing it, that's criminal activity. These people will go to prison, right? So they're going to do all that, right? Or is it that, or do they pay Vada to say he failed? Like, how does that work?
I'm just going to say, what do they do? Try to pay off a Vada agent? What if they don't go for it? You know, like you say, that could be prison time.
Right. But I just don't get what, out of all the ways to make the conspiracy of not letting Ortiz get in the way, out of everything they could do, like you would think a lot of it, like somebody as smart as Al Heyman, somebody as intelligent as a guy like Eddie Hearn, and like all these minds all got together, and this was the best conspiracy they could come up with. Like they couldn't have just, I don't know, avoided the guy. If they're going to pay somebody off, they could have paid off the sanctioning bodies, right? Yeah. They could have done a lot of things.
Exactly.
They could have, like, listen, they could have, like the thing when Low Place was saying about Wilder turned down the fight with Dillian White. First off, he had a mandatory that didn't want to step aside, so that he couldn't even take that fight if he wanted to. And like the same way you believe that, do I really believe Eddie Hearns was going to give Wilder $3 million to fight Dillian White? Like,
I don't know. I heard him say that. I heard him, but I was just, I didn't have time to go fact check it or anything. I just took his word for it. But
yeah,
well, no, he said it, but I'm just saying, though, like,
he's a promoter. When do people start taking a promoter's word for anything?
Yeah, I mean, this is the same guy who, in the interview I had with Bermain Stavern, he claimed that he offered Bermain Stavern double to fight one of his dudes than what he was getting for Povetkin, and Bermain was like, I never had a conversation with Eddie. So it's like, he's a promoter. Like, what is he supposed to do? But like I said, man, the whole conspiracy thing, it was funny to me, man. I was dying when I was listening.
Yeah, when Dan's like, we're not going to talk about it. Nah, bro, let's talk about it. Like, this is great. I just don't get what, and then the conspiracy is bigger than that, though. The conspiracy is that Wilder, I guess, is in bed with Vada and he's paying them off to just get all these guys to pop dirty. Does anybody know how much money he lost before that Povetkin fight getting canceled?
Yeah, and Heyman and Hearn are both in on it, apparently, somehow.
I mean, what did Eddie Hearn have to do with the Povetkin fight? Like,
I don't know.
You know how much money Wilder lost because that fight got canceled?
Yeah, it was his highest payday. It was what, $3 million? Was it $3 million, right?
It's a lot of money. Like, people forget that's a lot of money because we're used to hearing about like Mayweather making over 100 million, right? But $3 million is a lot of money. You know, is that what it was?
Yeah, he won his lawsuit. The way I recall it, he won his lawsuit, but he didn't get the full amount of money he lost in the deal.
Yeah, it's a wasted camp, bro. Like it's everything just goes to shit, you know. And you don't, you know, it's the Stavern fight. Why would they have Stavern pop dirty? Like, well, why? You know, like, it's just.
And it's the irritating thing for me. Like I said, not only are the fights not fucking happening, but like if you look at like the heavyweight division right now, like we all agree the top guys are what? Wilder, Joshua, you know, maybe we'll throw in the belt holders, Ortiz, right? Okay. Well, they're all over the last 10 years, they're all sitting on about 4 or 5 credible opponents. Vladimir Klitschko had 18. Derek Chisora had almost that many too. Like all the guys doing the heavy lifting, like resume-wise, it's all guys like friggin' David Price and Carlos Takam and Thomas Adamek.
Yeah, like heavyweight, these guys really need to fight each other more.
Yeah. Ortiz, Yeah, Ortiz is he's him and Wilder and Joshua. They're all in about the same position.
Yep.
In terms of what they fought.
Did you see Mr. Boxing today's video about how I think it's Parker's team saying that they won't be fighting AJ or Wilder anytime soon. Maybe not even next year. I think that's what he was saying.
Parker's funny.
So is it fair to say that it's a good time to make like in 2018 is a good year to make Wilder Joshua?
Definitely.
Like to me, it's the time to make it is now.
If it's not going to be Ortiz, the opponent cannot be another step backwards. It's got to be something, you know what I mean?
Because he's not going to get credit for the win anyway if he fights anybody below Ortiz.
Yeah, I'm about to say anybody he fights is going to be a step backwards if it's not Ortiz. That's the problem.
I guess Parker. I guess. I mean,
yeah, Joseph Parker only because of unification, but I just don't see Joseph Parker taking a chance of losing his belt to Wilder when he can get paid way more money fighting Joshua losing his belt too.
I think Dillian White would provide more resistance than Parker, frankly.
I agree.
What do you think about Adam Konecki? The guy that just beat Spilka.
Haven't seen him.
They were talking about him maybe.
Yeah, he has a fight possibly coming up. I thought Mr. Boxing today said something about it.
Yeah, him and Jerry have separate fights coming up. But they were talking about maybe Miller and him actually fighting, but they're best friends, so whatever, they can't fight.
Yeah, I want to see Joshua Wilder 2018.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to happen 2018.
Yeah, these guys, they got to start fighting each other. You know, we can't have like, you know, I mean, yes, I understand that they're, you know, these guys aren't winning these fights, but you can't have guys like Tony Thompson with the best list of names by far.
No,
in your heavyweight division. That's just not right. That's just not right.
Actually, if we go by resume, not just wins and losses, probably the best heavyweight, not just going by wins and losses resume, is Derek Chisora.
Yep, it's Derek Chisora, Sam Sexton, Tyson Fury, Robert Melendez, Vitaly Klitschko, David Haye, Malik Scott, Kevin Johnson, Tyson Fury again, Kubrat Pulev, and Dillian White. Yep, and Dillian White. Yeah. Out of active heavyweights, he's pretty much out of the active heavyweights that aren't like Adam X and Chris Ariolas and shit, you know. Yeah, he's got the most credible opposition out of everybody.
Question. Chisora fought Vitaly first and then Fury, right?
He fought Fury, then Vitaly, then Fury again. Fought Fury twice.
Yeah.
So he had a loss. I thought it was undefeated when he fought Vitaly. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but
maybe I've got the sequence wrong. The point is, he fought these guys. You know what I mean? And to further my point, you know, it's not like this is the normal pattern. If I go back and look at the 70s, okay, it isn't guys like Ron Stander and Larry Middleton that have the biggest list of, you know, credible opponents. It's Ken Norton, it's Muhammad Ali, obviously, Jimmy Young, Ernie Shavers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. George Chapalo.
Yep, sure. It's not. You know, it's not the second, third, and fourth rate guys doing all the heavy lifting resume-wise.
Right.
Just really quick, you were right. He fought Tyson Fury. I think it was a controversial decision, right?
First fight was close. Close.
And I forgot about this, but he lost to Robert Helenius before he fought Vitaly. So there you go.
Yeah, it's just, and then, you know, I mean, when you combine that with the, you know, ridiculously low number of times they fight a year, it creates a situation where you've got a guy like Wilder with almost 40 fights, and he's only fought like 5 credible dudes. You know, and Ortiz is no better, and Joshua's really so far not much better other than Vlad. You know, I could say this about all these guys that are at the top.
Like, here's my thing. Like, who's Ortiz fought? Like,
Exactly.
Just Brian
Yeah.
Jennings.
Let's see. I have it right here. Let me see. Break it down. Forget.
because I always hear about like he's a good boxer now. I never got the confidence that some people have that he's going to be a Wilder. Like, I never got that.
No, yeah, he's only got like
Really
four
doesn't Brian
remotely credible names. Yeah, Brian Jennings is really the only good fighter. The rest of them are just, you know, journeyman, Malik Scott, Tony Thompson, the White Right. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad.
Scott fight was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Johnson has more credible opposition on his resume than these guys.
AJ's the only
Metallic,
person that
Tyson
not
Fury,
dancing out.
Christian Hammer, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua, Pulev, you know what I mean? This is frustrating.
It just seemed like when Vitaly retired, like, stuff was picking up a little bit. And when Fury defeated Vladimir, I remember how excited a lot of us were because it like opened up the division again.
Yeah,
You know?
I was one of them. I was one of them.
And then it's like all these problems start rising up. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that Fury wouldn't open again the division, even though we thought it would open it up like for more fights.
But by the way, who was arguing again that that Joshua had a better performance than Fury?
There was nobody here.
Wrong place.
There was nobody here. He clearly had see the thing was, and I remember when we talked about this fight on my man's channel, my guy 2K from Prodigy of Boxing. We were saying that what Vladimir's faced with in Tyson Fury is he's the same height as him with the same reach as him. So the way that Vladimir likes to fight, he's not going to be able to do it only because he's not going to be able to go down with the right hand. He has to reach up with it, and that's going to be uncomfortable for him. So
Right.
Fury fought the fight he was supposed to fight. He made Vladimir ineffective. He made him think. And that's what wanted him to fight. That's why it was, to me, it was a great performance because you literally made a guy who's normally good at being effective ineffective.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you look at. If you look at outcome, probably will lean to AJ, but if you look at overall performance, you look at Fury. But when I think about it, I would if I'm in a fight where my opponent doesn't manage to hurt me as much and I manage to defeat him, then I would consider it a better performance than if they knocked me down or hurt me multiple times while I'm fighting him.
Yeah. I think people are confusing which fight was more exciting with who had the better performance.
Yeah. In entertainment versus, like you said, performance.
Yeah. Because if I have if you take a picture in baseball, right? I mean, a perfect game isn't fun to watch until you realize a perfect game is about to happen. You know. So in the first few innings, it ain't that exciting, and then once you realize, because nobody's scoring runs and there's no drama happening, you know. But to me, that's how it is in boxing. You know, when maybe the first few rounds, it's like, you know, it's but once you realize that a guy is about to put on a full 12-round display of brilliance, you know, at least to me, you appreciate it, you know.
Well, and also, you win how you win. That's why I brought up the old tuna ball giants, like you mentioned, that beat the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody enjoyed watching that team, you know, per se, right?
Right.
But that it didn't matter. They're still Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
Bottom line's the bottom line. You know, I don't hear anybody, you know what I mean, trying to like discredit them. Oh, they ran the clock down. You know what I mean? Because of their style, quote unquote, or anything like that. You get it done how you get it done.
Yeah, do what's effective. I think like I'll agree that Fury's all wrong for Vladimir. Um, he's all wrong for him,
That
and
style, yeah, yeah.
but nonetheless, and maybe you could argue because of that, that's why he had a better performance.
But like I said on Dan's chat, I felt like the Vlad's fight with AJ validated Fury's performance because it showed that Vlad wasn't just a shot fighter getting danced around.
Definitely. And Vladimir Klitschko, I mean, was a professional, man. There's no reason to think he wasn't in great shape for that Fury fight.
Yep. And I keep having to remind people there's a reason. Like 99.9% of boxing fans of all kinds praised Vlad after that fight, even though he lost the AJ fight.
Right.
Yeah, especially since he made it his retirement fight. I mean, a lot of guys tend to fight just anybody for their retirement fight for a while.
Well,
But
and
Vlad
it's
chose to fight one of the best heavyweights.
yep. It's not just that though, Fox. It's the fact he had arguably the best performance of his career.
True.
I mean, I'm serious. I don't. I think I bet you can count on one hand the guys that beat that Vlad that night out of active heavyweights.
Yeah, Vlad, he did good.
And another thing about Vlad was that 2 training camps really, because he tried to fight Fury twice in 2016, only for him
Right.
to pull out.
That's true.
Then he had the Joshua training camp.
You mean like it affected him negatively, or it helped him?
Well,
I
sometimes
think
it
it
can
helped him keep him in
with
shape.
yeah. It gets a fine line with older fighters. Sometimes you can end up leaving it in the gym, but sometimes, like he says, it's important to keep them active.
Somebody in the chat put.
Okay, check this out.
Yeah.
I'm reading a tweet that Boxeo Cubano put up. Ambos ingredientes encontrados en la prueba de la vara. Ortiz están se encontraron presente en su medicina para la presión recantada por su doctor.
Okay.
They saying both of the ingredients found by the Nevada testing. They also are president in. They're also present in the medicine that Luis Ortiz was given by the doctor. And they have the bottle caps there. They actually show you the bottle caps of the medicine he was taking with the date.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They have his name, the doctor's name. It says take 1 tablet by mouth every month. This was prescribed. Looks like back in April.
Why didn't he let Vada know?
Wait a minute. Oh no, it refills. He got to refill this again. April, like it says, refilled April 27th, 2018.
Yeah, if all that's true, then this should just end up being procedural.
Right. But that's why I said Suleiman is human. So he probably heard this and like we did, like, oh fuck. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be kidding me. And jumped the gun because he thought he had a good fight. Because remember the WBC went through a lot to get Stavern to take their step aside also.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know because he specifically put that it was through the test program through Vada.
Yeah.
So
Hey, guys, did I hear Bo correctly? Did he say that they're saying? Did they say to use the words both substances? Because in the original statement, I just heard Suleiman saying he popped for a substance.
No, I think what he means is both bottles of medicine that he was taking.
Oh, he's got 2 medicines that contain the same substance he popped for.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
oh, we'll see what comes out, man. It's going to be drama tomorrow. I know that.
Well, it's gonna be drama regardless.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
It's gonna be drama regardless.
The mountain of videos that are going to come out tomorrow, D-Style, you called it.
Oh, dog, it's mountain of videos now. I'm getting all these alerts. What's his name?
They go in
Blood
already?
Boxing went live. 78 Sport went live. Boxing Ego went live. I'm getting it.
Oh, shit. Yep, here we go.
Because it is extremely frustrating, but hopefully,
Yeah, I wouldn't want the fight to get canceled.
I gotta be honest, D-Style. I'm so sick of using the word hopefully when I talk about boxing.
Well, hopefully.
You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was used back in the day, but nowadays we're using it for like, hopefully they don't pop dirty. Hopefully we don't have to spend a week debating whether it was a conspiracy by Heyman and Eddie Hearn and the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, it's like you can't be sure if these fighters are fighting until you actually see them in the ring across from each other.
Yeah, and I feel like the old guy. Yeah, I wish for the old days. You know what I mean? Either the fight fucking happened or it didn't, and if it didn't, we moved on.
Right. I mean, but it's you know what? Now this is what's crazy though too. Is it's just crazy how this just surrounds Wilder. Like this guy can't get a break because if this fight doesn't happen, I don't give a fuck who he fights. I don't care who he fights, and I hear what you guys are saying. I don't care who he fights because this was the guy. For all reasons, a lot of heavyweights wasn't trying to fight because of his skill set. So this don't happen. I mean, who does he fight that we look at now to say that's the equivalency of Joshua fighting of Vladimir Klitschko? If it's not Ortiz,
Just fighting Joshua. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, either Joshua or just best possible opponent on an undercard to build up the Joshua fight. Those are the ideal options, which means they probably won't happen. But I digress.
What do you guys think will happen here?
I think the fight.
Alexander Povetkin, right? I heard he's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the fight still happens. Only because
if it is just blood pressure medication or just related to that, I think the fight will happen. Yeah, it should just be a matter
right. If it's related to the blood pressure, if they say, hey, whatever it is that he fell for, it was in the blood pressure medication. He had been taking it X amount of time. But
also, Bo, I mean, the more I think about it, I kind of like the idea of procedure being, look, they test you. If you have this in your system, we send up the red flag, then we go over the details. And if it turns out, you know what I mean, it's not a big deal, we keep moving,
Right. But my only issue is this. If it's blood pressure medicine and, this punk ass Alabama windmill wins this fight, the haters are not going to give him credit because they're going to bring up the fact that he may have fought an extremely old man.
You're going to say he had diabetes and all that.
By the way, I heard he's 36, 47.
Oh, come on, stop. You know damn well Louis Ortiz.
Amir Mansour claimed he was 48.
Who?
Amir claimed that Ortiz was 48.
How old is this dude?
Amir's not too far off.
Amir is about 48, but he was claiming Ortiz was 48 too.
Amir is not too far off.
But Bo's not going to say no
that's
more.
All I can say. That's all I can say is Amir's not too far off.
Well, it's I think the fight happens. To be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, why in the hell would either one of them? Because ultimately, both of them, ironically, have young daughters with serious medical conditions. You know what I mean? They need the fucking money. Why would either one of them want to sabotage this fight, which is going to be, one of the biggest? It's going to be Ortiz's biggest payday. I'd have to believe.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be one of Wilder's, if not his biggest.
Well, that plus, I mean, all this time, this dude. Well, you know what? I don't know, because right now, I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't know what to believe, because he's been part of the divided testing program for a while now, right?
Yeah, see, it's a big rabbit hole, dude. It's a big rabbit hole, and next thing you know, we've all been arguing about meldonium for 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, he's been part of divided testing for a while, and if he's been taking his blood pressure, I mean, when did he start taking his blood pressure medicine? I think that's what's going to be the key. Is when did you start taking his blood pressure medicine?
Yeah, I was curious. Did they do testing for the David Allen fight?
All the fights they did testing for all of them because he was enrolled. He was enrolled in the program.
So maybe he wasn't taking it back then. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody put peanut butter in the chat, by the way. Styles make fights is the most overused phrase in boxing. In his
it's also
opinion.
the most accurate phrase in boxing.
I was about to say it is, but it is also, it's very friggin' true and simple to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and demonstrate it for us.
Roberto Duran went 15 rounds with Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler knocked fucking Thomas Hearns the fuck out. Thomas Hearns knocked Duran the fuck out. Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler. Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Are we getting the point yet?
Yeah. You could do it with.
Yeah, you can pick any 3 or 4 fighters. Yeah, you can pick any number of 3 or 4 fighters.
Tyson Fury fight Vladimir Klitschko. Y'all call it a border fight. Anthony Joshua fight Vladimir Klitschko is the greatest heavyweight fight of all time.
I mean, Vernon Forrest destroys Shane Mosley in the first fight in a way. Beat him pretty convincingly the second fight, but he loses to fucking Ricardo Mayorga. Shane Mosley knocks out Ricardo Mayorga. All right,
twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second one was arguably worse because he won on points. How do you lose on points to Mayorga?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you Styles, like you said, Styles.
And Corey Spinks schooled Mayorga, and you can go on and on and on with it.
Jermaine Taylor defeats Cali Pavlik. Cali Pavlik knocks out.
No.
I got Jermaine Taylor to beat Bernard Hopkins. My bad.
Right.
All right. And Cali Pavlik knocks out Jermaine Taylor, beats him in a decision in the second fight, and then Bernard Hopkins schools Cali Pavlik.
Hey, I'll even give you guys one that's better than that. George Foreman knocks out Joe Frazier. Muhammad Ali beats George Foreman, but Muhammad Ali struggles against Joe Frazier.
Lost the first fight,
lost the first fight. So, come on, man.
Yeah, another
and the third one, they beat the careers out of each other.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell yeah.
You have this modern one too. You have this modern one too, but it's more up in the air with Gonzalez beating Quadras beating Rungvisai, then Rungvisai knocking out Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's
Gonzalez beating Estrada. Gonzalez struggled with Estrada, but then he had Estrada versus Quadras. So it's Styles really make it. At that weight class, you have a little rivalry going on.
Barrera beat. He came out. He beat Morales. Pacquiao destroyed Barrera, and then Morales defeated Pacquiao.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know.
2 years.
I know we hate that style. I know people hate that style and make fights, but the problem is it is the most accurate statement in all of boxing.
Yep. Jerry Quarry knocked out Ernie Shavers in 1 round. Jerry Quarry couldn't do shit with Muhammad Ali. Ernie Shavers went 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali and nearly beat him.
Yeah.
And you have like Julio Diaz gave Sean Porter a tough time. 2 fights. Gave Furman a tough time, but Furman stopped Julio Diaz.
Yeah, wasn't one of those a draw with Porter?
Yeah, one of them were draws. And Furman stopped Julio Diaz.
Right.
Well, Kell Brooks what, beat Sean Porter, but then loses to Earl Spence.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat just asked, will there be an investigation? Like you're asking us, like we know, bro. Like, but I'm pretty sure there will be.
Yeah, low places on the case. Don't worry.
I'm sure he's not looking at it with confirmation bias either.
Oh no, DStyleBoxing. I would never do that.
Speaking of investigation, there was another situation going on between Luis Neri and Shinsuke Yamanaka, the two bantamweight fighters, where Neri popped dirty, but they said they investigate. That's been like a month now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Neri knocked him out, right?
Yeah, Neri knocked him out,
and then he got popped for Mandarin or some shit.
Yeah, and they said they would investigate, but that's been like 3 weeks or a month now.
Hey, somebody just put in the chat. It's actually a good point. Like I read it, and I was like, Mike 104 put, did the drug come up in previous fight tests? And if it did not,
didn't I just say that?
Yeah, but I'm like thinking about it. Like I'm thinking about it, and it's true. You know, it's you got to question.
Well, hey, on the other hand, one could say, look, if they let Francisco Vargas fight after popping for what was it?
Man, I paid off a doctor one time so I could get 2 weeks off of work, bro. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not like doctors can be paid off. Okay.
You paid him? You paid him?
No. I'm talking about the WBC.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Remember, Francisco Vargas got popped for like something way more serious than no blood pressure medication, and they're like, "Oh no, came to meet, no problem."
Now, in my case, I didn't pay him. I just paid for the doctor's visit, copay. That's all. But anyway, my point is, it's if you don't disclose it prior, it's still suspicious.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing, and I totally. That's my only issue is if it was medicine you was even if it was prescribed by a doctor, it was medicine you was taking. It clearly states two things. Number one, your age is going to become in big freaking time now.
Yeah,
because there's only one reason you'd be taking blood pressure medicine.
Oh, the age jokes are coming. Well, just be ready for them, Bo.
Right, but number two, why wasn't this? Because if this was handed over to VADA, I'm quite sure they would have said, they would have told Suleiman, listen, he tested positive, but what he tested positive for is in the medicine that he takes.
But not only that, though, if he disclose it prior, they're going to ask questions. Okay, why are you taking this? All right, what's in this? Okay. You know, they're going to ask questions. They don't just look at it and say, all right, and then move on. The people looking at this stuff know what they're looking at. You know, so it's still it's really, really fishy and suspicious that I think this was their scapegoat. You know, I'm speculating, but I think this was if we get caught, this is what we're going to say.
Right. I don't know. I think if this was anything other than boxing, we would be thinking the most likely scenario is it's some sort of paperwork error. Because that's what it fucking sounds like, a clusterfuck.
Well, it does, but see, here's the thing. My thing is, now and this is not to defend them, I like the quick response to this that Team Ortiz is having about this. I definitely like the quick response to this. So,
well, I put the conspiracy to rest. I know that.
Well, yeah, exactly. It'll definitely put the conspiracy. It'll definitely put that to rest with them, because the problem with something like this, and like we just found out, it popped off, and in less than 5 minutes, that shit went viral. So, can you imagine a whole night of people sitting on something like this? And then, like somebody said earlier, they didn't believe it because it's like 11 o'clock at night. Why would you put somebody like that at 11 o'clock at night? Now imagine this was 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was my first thought. What is Suleiman? I mean, if Suleiman's awake, he can't be sober. This time of night? Come on now.
Right.
He's got things to do. It's the weekend. Come on.
Right. Exactly. So, but I mean, it. And look, you know, man, and well, Mr. Doc, you already know how I feel.
I mean, that's kind of where I was going. Is the more I think about it, the more I imagine Suleiman either got woken up or had his his little nice drink interrupted with this shit, and he was probably like,
Right.
"Fuck!"
Because listen, I'm not one. Listen, I've defended Deontay Wilder, and I've also questioned Deontay Wilder, and I'm only going with Luis Ortiz because if you know my family history, then you know why. But the reality is that this was always a question about Ortiz was passing a drug test. Let's not act like it wasn't. It was always a question about him passing the drug test.
But then again, they could argue. I'm not saying I'm arguing, but one could argue that he has been passing drug tests.
No, and he has been. He has been. But when you look at the pattern of like who was the you had Povetkin failed twice in the same year. Then you had that other guy Brawny. He failed twice in the same year. Shannon Briggs before he fought Fresno Quindo. Lewis Neary. So there's been this rapid vamp up of people failing. So, and because Wilder has the most people failing, it was always this, oh God, he's fighting another guy who failed. We don't want another Povetkin situation.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up because Povetkin failed. One of the times he failed, he was not fighting Wilder, and
True.
the guy who was fighting is one of the guys that failed against Wilder too. So, it's this whole thing's a clusterfuck, man. Like everybody's just failing.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Everybody is failing right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now you know what though. This is gonna make people mad. This is even the reason more why I give respect to Andre Ward. He didn't have this kind of problem.
No.
Yeah.
There's just guys out there that never have their meat never gets contaminated, and they
just have amazing luck, right? DStyle.
Yeah.
Oh man, listen, dog. Oh man, look. With DStyle, you'll come to learn out, man. I joke and I play. I laugh off any goddamn thing. Long as you don't talk about my daughter. Long as you talk about my daughter and my family heritage, I'm cool. But outside of that, I laugh off anything. And oh man, I'm getting these messages like wildfire. Don't you know? I'm supporting my guy with too.
Oh well, I have to admit, you gave me one of the best laughs ever when you ended a hangout with you did. I could hear you do this double take, and you're just like, I don't know what my daughter just walked in wearing, but I gotta go.
Oh yeah, that was the one where I stopped talking for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. It was like, something just happened over there, and then you're like, yeah, I
gotta go. Yeah. So, but nah, this is
Yo,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fox.
Yeah. What's up,
I was
Fox?
wondering, in Mexico, is a lot of meat really contaminated by clenbuterol, like some of these fighters claim sometimes?
I don't know, but I've gone to south of the border a couple times. I never got anything, and no contaminations that I know about.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't turn into the Hulk after one of their steaks down there or something?
No. I don't know. Actually, I went to eat over there, and I came back. Some girls over here like, do you work out? Like, So,
well, if I remember right, I think with clenbuterol, it's really. I'm trying to remember if it's something that improves your airways or helps you to cut weight. I don't remember exactly what it does.
Right. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
All I know is I'm very disappointed that the heavyweight division has left us spending more time discussing conspiracy theories, chemistry, geopolitical state of affairs rather than the actual fights.
I
Right.
just want to know if Tom Cruise was somewhere, in the Nevada facility.
Oh, no.
Doing the Mission Impossible thing, right? Doing the whole Mission Impossible.
Yeah, from the ceiling.
Oh, that's hella funny, D-Style. Okay. They say, we got to protect Wilder. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, there it is.
Right.
I'm shutting off before I get flagged again. But
Yeah, you know those videos are coming though, D-Style.
Yeah. But I could just picture this dude, man. Like it's like
Me too.
maybe it's Eddie Hearn. He's got like the hair like Tom Cruise.
No, one of the Watson kids. It'd be one of the Watson kids.
Coming off the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah,
And then,
Sam Watson's the spotter in the van.
I'll never forget the Povetkin conspiracy, or even there's someone that will go unnamed that was saying that that they were injecting Kovalev with a substance that was weakening him, and I was just like, "Come on, bro." When I heard that, I was like,
for real?
"Come on, huh?"
Someone said that for real?
Yes.
Oh, for real, yeah.
For real.
Like when I said it, they were like, "Oh, you're lying." I sent them the link, but that's they were. Well, they didn't say it happened. In fairness, the guy said, "I wouldn't be shocked if." And people think that because they say that but it's still making a pretty strong insinuation.
Yeah. He used those words, but it was said in a tone that was said very clearly. I think this is what happened.
Right.
Inject him with vodka.
Right.
He injected himself with vodka, if anything.
And that's why he looks so weak in the fight. Okay.
Weak.
Yeah, that's super ugly. Now, hold on. You know what? I want to get back to. I want to get back to this because I don't think we was able to make good sense of it. But the whole giving credit for
Sure.
guys going up thing. See, my issue with that is that at what point, and I get everything Low Place was trying to say, and I really do. But I'm from the old school. At what point do we hold these guys accountable for their own actions? Because I don't know. I think it might have been you. You were saying that I don't want to get into a position where guys are like, okay, well, you know what? I'll drain myself, go down and fight because you know what? I really got nothing to lose. He's not going to get credit for it anyway. And then I'll go back up, and what the hell?
Yeah. Or even if they're not drained, but they could say they were drained.
Right.
And then they win, and they're like, "Well, I was I won, and I was drained." It's there's something about that I don't like. We couldn't all have a judgment. It's like whenever we're discussing, for example, if somebody were to ask me, who fought the better version of Ossie De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather or Pacquiao? To me, it's clear that Mayweather fought a better version of Ossie De La Hoya, right? But in my opinion, both guys deserve credit for their wins over the guy. It's just one of those things. I don't want to get in a place where, because at that point, anything is an excuse, right? A guy moves up in weight, a guy drains himself, or whatever it is. He moves up 20 pounds, he moves down way too much. I mean, no two fighters are the exact same height, the exact same weight. There's going to be a difference in weight and height and all these things with all fighters.
And in ability, there's also going to be a difference in their ability to carry their skill sets up to higher weights.
Right.
Not it's like Brian's made the point 100 times. Roberto Duran is not a normal lightweight. You don't judge, Leonard fighting him the way you judge Leonard fighting Anthony Crawler.
Right.
All right. Who would you give more credit for beating Chavez Jr., Sergio Martinez, or Canelo Alvarez?
You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious because I believe that Chavez Jr. was drained in the Canelo fight, but I don't think he was drained against Martinez. It's not as drained against Martinez.
I would say the Martinez fight, Chavez was just in a better place at that time than he was when he fought Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez whipped him, but that fight ended his career, effectively.
Yeah, the knee injury.
Yeah, the next fight didn't make it any better with, what's his name?
Yeah, Martin Murray.
Martin Murray, there you go. That fight didn't make it any better for him. But, yeah.
I think Martinez should have called it a rep right there instead of Tin Cota and that bad knee.
Yeah, after the Martin Murray fight, I mean, he fought in a stadium over there in Argentina. He should have called it a wrap.
Well, he wanted those. He wasn't going to pass up them Cotto dollars. Is what it came down to, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
that's like what Muhammad Ali said about the horrible Larry Holmes fight afterwards. Why'd you do that? Blah blah blah. And he's like, dude, at the time, it's like $5 million. He said, there's guys on their deathbeds in the hospital that would crawl out and just, get beat up by Larry Holmes for $5 million in 1980.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's. Oh, man.
But see, I guess like the frustration is there's just way too much room for excuses. That's my thing.
Right.
Fighters, they're already going to make excuses. Like,
yeah, the fans. Yeah. We're exactly. We're giving them more of what they're going to try and get anyways.
Exactly.
We create the environment. Which is why I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't care. Either the fights fucking happen or they don't fucking happen. And at the end of the day, you're either going to have credible opponents on your resume or you're not. I don't care why. I don't care why.
Yeah, but see, that's my point. What if the best credible guy that's going to be on your resume is a guy that's at a lower weight division? And that's my issue. Look at one
that's
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
We know Tank Davis can't beat him. We know Jazrael Corrales can't beat him. So the next credible guy is Rigo.
Not that Rigo wants to fight.
Yeah, and Rigo went out of his way to hound him for the fight.
What about?
But I think I think his name is Lopez, right?
Yeah.
I think where I got him, and I honestly think I got him good, was when I basically told him, because he was contradicting himself, just depending on the scenario. So I basically told him, by his logic, there's no way to make the Lomachenko-Regenau fight for both guys to get credit for the win, right? So either one guy has to drain himself and go down in weight, or the other guy has to move up in weight. Like it's one way or another, either a mix or one of those scenarios happens.
Yeah, that's like saying, you brought up the De La Hoya Mosley fight. So it's like saying, well, De La Hoya, if he won, was going to get no credit. What? How does that work?
Well, to his credit, he did say that the fight should have happened at 126 when he was at 126. But see, the reality was they wasn't willing to make that fight at that time. Like the time to make that fight wasn't right then. The time to make it is now. And
I thought there was a catch.
Well, and jumping two divisions is hard. It's not like it hasn't been done quite a few times, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, but my thing is, I mean, you got to look at Lomachenko's career. I mean, he doesn't have that many fights. It's how many guys have 6-7 fights, and they're already asking them to fight like the best dudes in the division.
Neither one of them has that many fights, actually. Come to think of it. I think they're, what, 20?
Rigo had a couple more. I think Rigo had like 8 fights before he fought for a title, something like that.
Oh, I think he
Rigo
fights right now.
Rigo when he fought Rigo fought Nonino Donaire, that was his 11th, or I think his 11th or 12th career fight.
I thought he got his first title off Ramos. Or was that after?
Yeah, he got his first title off Rico Ramos. And that was his that wasn't even 10 fights in.
8th or
Like
9th.
his 8th fight. I thought it was like 8 or something.
Yeah, it was 8. That's right.
I thought that with the Lomachenko situation, there was a catch weight of 124 Alpha that
I mean, let me put it this way, right? So if somebody said, I think your next door neighbor could whoop your ass, right? And I know he can't. And then now your next door neighbor is smaller than you, but everybody's saying he could whoop your ass. And I know he can't whoop my ass, right? And then you fight your next door neighbor and you whoop his ass, and you prove everybody wrong. Then no, see, he couldn't whoop my ass. And then they say, well, yeah, but you were bigger. You know, it's just at some point, you know, it's you gotta give guys credit.
Otherwise, right? Why bother having the fucking fights? You know, if people are gonna think that way, yeah.
But exactly. the thing I was saying was that wasn't there a 124 catch weight Alpha with a rehydration clause, and Lomachenko said, yeah, I'll take it, and then Rigo's team was like, poof.
No, they offered.
That's according to Bob Arum.
Yeah, that's according to Bob Arum, but also according to Bob Arum in an article, November 23rd of 2015. Bob Arum also claimed that Rigo and them had did agree to come to 126, but the problem was Caribbean. The demands Caribbean was making, and then of course Rigo and them team was like, well, he only offered us $500K. And that wasn't enough for us to take the fight at that time. So
the problem with this is that this is according to Bob Arum. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that had an unbelievable line. How does it go again? He said,
"I was lying yesterday, but today I'm telling the truth."
Yeah. Well, yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth.
I might be telling the truth. Is what he said. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Or he's like basically, yeah, I freely admit I lied to you guys.
Or when he said there's nothing wrong with judging in boxing, and then a reporter pointed out, well, you were just saying there was something wrong with a scoring in boxing like a couple fights ago. And he said, well, I was wrong.
Right.
That's you know, when old guys reach to that I don't give a fuck stage. They're just, you know what I mean? They just don't even care anymore about, you know, social niceties.
That's why.
Right. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Bob ever finished the stadium?
What is that?
Right, yeah. When they said that they need to finish the stadium for the fight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. A stadium is necessary. Like why, Bob? You know, like it's this fight's unprecedented. We need a stadium. It was just the most, like, a boxing fight hasn't needed a stadium built since like the Dempsey days. Okay.
Yeah, no shit. And if it was a stadium you want, you had, you know, you guys could have fought in Texas. It hosts 51,000.
And not only that, I think they have like there has to be some college team there in Vegas, isn't there? I'm sure there's a stadium there somewhere.
UNLV, they've got a football team.
Yeah, like you don't need to like build a stadium. Like if you're gonna have it at a stadium in Vegas, I mean,
although I have to say that I think that would have been one of the stupidest things ever, because at least right now, I don't think there's any kind of makeable boxing match that would sell out that kind of a stadium in America.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Now, if you take that fight over to England, you might do something. You know,
Pacquiao Mayweather would have sold out in a stadium, in my opinion.
Oh, they could have sold out Wembley with Pacquiao and Mayweather, man.
I mean, it depends on the prices, of course, but they could have.
Yeah,
In a way, this is one of the reasons why I actually think it would be better if we had fighters like, say, Wilder Yeah, fight in Alabama, but fight like every place you can find in Alabama.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, build them up like separate territories. Then you try to tie everything together instead of like right now where you got a clusterfuck.
Right.
Yeah, like sometimes I think boxing should have been like let's say you have like the Caribbean fight for their own title, North America does theirs, Africa does theirs, and they bring them all together for like a little tournament, a
Well,
lot of
and
regional tournaments and such.
yeah, and what happens over here, in my opinion, is like when it comes to boxing, for instance, I think we forget what a big country we are. You know, most of our states are like the size of
Oh
the. You
shit!
know, what's up?
What the
Oh
hell?
shit!
What's up, Bo?
Are you looking at the comment section?
No, what I miss?
Official Story Boxing saying, I have been informed that Luis Ortiz tested positive for losartan, a drug typically prescribed to treat high blood pressure and kidney disease in patients with type 2 diabetes.
I can't
Jesus
believe
Christ,
it.
Oh shit!
That was somebody that
Well,
just wrote
I
in
mean a
here.
Diabetes
bit.
jokes. You're like, come, man. You're gonna have that guy from the Quaker Oats commercial in the thumbnails.
If that's true, because it says to treat high blood pressure. So if he has high blood pressure, well, I don't know. I mean, high blood pressure normally do hit you when you're in your 40s. I've never known nobody in their 30s to have high blood pressure.
There it is.
And I know that shit runs in my family. And
the good news though is that it sounds like it's something that should, this is boxing, so we got to use the word should be able to be sorted out.
well, it's something that
Right.
can definitely be. Well, you know what? I put it to you like this, and this is why I always go back to the Bermain Stavern situation, because remember, it said banned substance. Oh, is that you posting up there right now?
Yeah, they didn't with Bermain they didn't specify how serious of a substance it is because they have a whole wide
Right.
array of
It just said banned substance. So if that's true, and
Severn was covered.
come
it
with
is
like
a
a
banned
24-hour energy or some shit like that.
right, then
I
it
think
goes back to what I
Severn
said was he was taking something that they feel is dangerous to him.
DMAA they call it. The me file. I don't remember what the two is, but it's a type of amine.
This was
Yeah.
from a boxing scene. Had that story up.
That's what
What?
I know they just. I don't know. This is a pretty. I don't think they're getting um any details on this article anyway.
Well, it's midnight now on a Friday, so I'm not surprised there's not a lot of detail.
Right.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all, because, like I say, if what he tested for, if it is something that's found in high blood pressure medicine, it at least explains that, to which he has a prescription for. But it still does not explain why wasn't this turned over to the proper
Well,
people.
it could be also, like I mentioned earlier, it could be just a case of VADA's not making but maybe VADA hasn't made their procedure completely clear to us. You know what I mean? Maybe, like I said, maybe they just fucking test you and see if anything pops. Then they worry about clearing it up with what I mean, permissions and all that.
That's because, like I said, Alicia Soderman tweeted this late at night, so they might not have been done with their procedures.
Well, yeah, and you brought up Bermain Stavern. Remember, like you said, they did the same thing there.
No, but what about this, guys? Here's why I find it suspicious. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Of course it's suspicious. I'm not trying to write it off.
Yeah.
I mean, could it be? I'm just saying, but it just seems odd to me that a professional boxer would have type 2 diabetes. Okay, I'm just saying it's very odd to me.
Well, that's why I don't think it's type 2 diabetes. I think it's the first one. I think it's the blood pressure.
Okay, so hopefully he's not diabetic. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
see, it says high blood pressure and kidney disease in patients with type 2 diabetes.
I mean, well, kidney disease is a pretty serious thing to have.
I don't think he'd be able
Well,
to fight
yeah,
it.
what I'm guessing and hoping, I'll have to use that word again, is that he's got a family history of it, like Bo talked about, you know what I mean, and there being a preventative. Because, I mean, if he had kidney disease, how the hell has he been passing?
Well, that's nice that it's being that they're doing all that, but you gotta disclose all that prior to going to any.
That's what I mean. If he has kidney disease, how is I was being serious. If he does, how has he been passing these physicals? What's been going on there?
I mean,
Right.
you cannot be in a professional prize fight with kidney disease. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's some Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes shit.
That is
Seriously.
insane. This dude, man, he's older than I thought. Like, holy shit.
Hey.
No, but you know what? In all seriousness, though, I mean, this is crazy. You can't make this shit up. I mean, holy shit.
No, you can't.
Oh yeah, I'm still sitting here going, you got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me.
You know what's crazy? That there was not a moment of like, no, we didn't do anything. It's just like, yep, we did. It's our medication, you know. Hard work, medication, right here.
Like I said, the jokes are coming, Bo. Just be, I hope you got the don't have
hard
no
work,
Medication.
medication.
They're gonna have Ortiz on the Quaker Oats bottle, man, on the can, man.
This picture floating. Hard work, medication. All right.
Eat your oatmeal.
I mean, you know what's crazy about this is that if it's, let's say it comes out, let's say it's true that the blood pressure's terrible, he's got kidney problems, you got to question every commission, like you said, right? I mean, how is he passing these physicals? You know, there is a conspiracy. The conspiracy is, how is this guy passing the physicals? That's the conspiracy.
Exactly.
Manipular
So, I
Rocky
mean,
6.
yeah.
Rocky Balboa.
Well, no, that's exactly, like I said, that's exactly what happened with Muhammad Ali. He was fucking, after the Shavers fight, he was pissing fucking chunks of kidney out in his urine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, man. It's, I mean, body shots. You know what I mean? Like, not that Wilder's known to be a body puncher, but still. But not only that, the strain that you put yourself in. Forget the fight, just the training camp. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, this is insane if true. It's insane no matter what's true. Whether they're lying, he doesn't really have this serious condition, or if he's not lying, he's telling the truth. Either way, it's fucking insane.
As cruel as this may sound, like if I'm Team Wilder, then I'll be targeting the body of Luis Ortiz with this information.
Kidney shot.
That's what I would. That's what I would do.
Hit him in the liver and hit him in the kidney. Just every organ, like just hit him everywhere.
Make him collapse in a ring.
I mean,
Hopefully not knowing, but that's what I would do.
You know, I've seen, you know, I have a family member who has kidney problems. I cannot picture someone being a prize fighter. You know, it's insane.
That's why I'm leaning towards it must be preventative for a family history or something, you know, because you don't you're not going out
because you go through dialysis while you're fighting. It must be terrible.
Oh man, this shit's getting like, I've never heard this defense. Has anybody ever like done a defense like this? Like, I have.
The honesty defense. It happens not in boxing though, like you mentioned earlier.
Like imagine you don't train in camp and as soon as you done train, you have to go for a dialysis.
Let's get the kidney
Like you can't manage
dialysis.
it.
Like here's my thing, and I honestly believe there's a very, very good chance that this is the cover up. Like I'm telling, like I have a feeling
Cover up of what?
that this is the cover up. Like
What's
what I
being
mean.
covered?
What I mean is, I don't really believe he has problem with blood pressure. I don't believe he has kidney problems. I don't believe it.
Why is he taking the blood pressure medication?
That's what they're alleging.
It's pretty stupid to allege that when it's something they can find out lickety split. I mean, you have to, they can just go, hey, we want you to sign a
It's
medical
extremely
waiver
difficult to go into somebody's medical records. So that's a very
No,
difficult
yeah,
thing to do.
you have to sign a waiver, but making people sign a waiver in sports is common.
Yeah, but plain ignorant is one of the most common defenses when somebody gets caught.
Oh, true. Yeah, of course.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was in my whey protein. I got it. GNC. It's GNC's fault.
Because I mean, it's we've never heard about this guy having blood pressure problems till he popped. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden we all find out. I think that if he would have disclosed it prior to the fight, right, a lot of questions would have been asked. Right, a lot of questions would have been asked.
But I can't get over, why would Ortiz screw himself out of all that money?
Well,
because remember, he's got, just like Wilder, he's got a daughter with a very serious disease.
Yeah, well, but I don't think he intended to get caught. That's my thing. If this was intended to be a masking agent, there was no intention to get caught.
Well, none of them are. No, nobody intends to get caught.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, if he would have never got caught, we would have never known anything about it. Obviously, right? I am open to the evidence coming out, and we'll see how it plays out. I mean,
I hate to ask, has there been a response from Wilder or his team yet?
I don't know.
That's my concern because I'm on how they react to it.
I think Wilder just got woken up or some shit by Eddie Hearn, who plotted the whole thing.
He's like, yep, Deontay, it worked perfectly.
Deontay, Wilder, we got it done.
I can't get over the Mission Impossible.
Right. I mean, what do you think he has blood pressure problems, Doc?
It's possible. Like I said, it's pretty normal. Like I have friends that have family histories of shit like that, and it's very normal in my experience, anyways. For the doctor to go, okay, let's get on this before it has a chance to happen, if it's going to happen. Usually they're late 30s, 40-ish.
Okay.
Talking about heart diseases mainly with that.
The way I see it, I'm going with my gut feeling here, but I think I just think this is the scapegoat. Like, I think this was their go-to. If we get caught, this is what we're going to say.
Could be, and this may sound a bit cold also, but one way to at least get a better sense of which way to lean would be to find out, number one, are Luis Ortiz's parents alive, and if not, how did they pass?
Right. Or where is Eddie Hearn at? That's what I want to know.
And the Watson kids, right?
And the Watson kids and Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman especially. And does Al Heyman even exist?
He's a hologram.
Right. Man, this is some. It's
Well, like you always say, man, you can't make this shit up.
like here's the thing. So let me get this straight, right? Let me just get this straight. We are in Dan the Man's channel talking about all types of stuff, right? We bring up this fight, and in the middle of debating this fight, this news breaks out.
In fact, how long? I don't think we were into it for that long, were we?
Like 5 minutes. And somebody had to throw in there, like, oh, watch Ortiz pop dirty. I forgot who it was, but
Boxing fan.
well, there you go. And then all of a sudden, boom. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody's trolling us because we're in the middle of talking about this fight.
Yeah, when they first said it, we were all like, "Oh, what? Knock it off!"
Yeah, okay. I think I even said like, "Oh yeah, it's 1 a.m. Eastern time." Sure. Everyone deserves a review. The funny part is I can't even say this way for the B sample because he's admitting to it. He's saying, "Oh yeah. It's just I'm on blood pressure medicine." But my thing is, have they released? They haven't released what he failed, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they didn't specify. They just said that the substance in question is in 2 of his medications.
Well,
But it was mentioned.
yeah, they did. Well, on Boxing Scene, they do say what because Suleiman just put the tweet out. He never specified what for, but they saying it's losartan, and it's typically found in people with high blood pressure and, like we said, kidney disease. But wow, I don't know. I just, regardless of what it is, and what the sad part is, people forget. After what's his name? Francisco Vargas tested positive.
Yeah, and they got that cleared up.
If it's a banned substance, you need to get
Clenbuterol.
What'd you say now?
If it's a banned substance and you need it for medication in any way, shape, or form, you need to get an approved exemption for it.
Mm-hmm.
TUE, therapeutic use exemption.
Yep. That's why I said that the sticky thing is, if it's a situation where, okay, he did tell them this, and this is Vada just letting Moody Sonoman know, and Sonoman reacted the way he reacted, then okay. But if it's a situation where, okay, well, he didn't tell us.
Well, here's my thing. This is because I don't know, so maybe one of you know. Does the opponent have to approve to the exemption?
What do you mean?
Just the
like if they say, hey, your opponent, he's gonna have to be taking these substances. They're illegal, but he needs it for his, for medical reasons. Does his opponent have to know that, or
I believe they have to be informed, but they don't have any say about whether the fight goes on or not. That's up to the local athletic commission in question.
Right, they have to let them know. Listen, it's not a steroid, but it's a banned substance, because just like with the Bermain Stavern situation, that's something that's detrimental to his health. And what it sounds like with this has something to do with health also as well. So yeah. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. It's like this just goes
I'm just
how everybody was really into that fight. I mean, everybody was really into this fight at the point at midnight. This thing went viral.
Well, talking, debating about the fight and who's gonna win, and but
right, you know what?
I just don't want this could set a very, very dangerous precedent. And what I mean by that is every other fighter is going to say they got high blood pressure. I got to take this medication. Look, my doctor prescribed me this medication. They don't know if he's taking that medication.
Right.
The doctor gives the guy pills to take. That guy could be throwing away those pills or flushing them down the toilet for all we know. And he could be taking something else.
Well, I'm just, how ironic. We was talking shit these days about who was going to win, and then that popped up. Like, God,
DStyle was trying to get a taker for his bet.
Yeah, I was making bets and $100 and then like all this shit. But
hey, Bo, you mentioned Kareem earlier. They from what little I know of them, everything I've ever heard about them's been negative. Could this be Kareem? First of all, is he still tied to them?
Oh, Caribbean.
Or yeah. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
I've always heard it.
Yeah, or no, Ortiz.
Yeah. No, Ortiz with Dade County, I believe.
I was going to say, is it possible that this is incompetence on the part of his team in some way?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Very much so.
I've heard a lot of shady and, you know what I mean, sort of bush league things that
this is either extreme incompetence or
no, it's incompetence. This is the same team that announced that Luis Ortiz had been signed to Eddie Hearn's promotion. Only for us to later find out, no, it was a fight-by-fight basis.
So Eddie Hearns was behind this shit. See?
Oh, God. You're feeding the trolls. You're feeding the trolls, D-Style.
No, you're feeding the trolls, D. Don't do that.
No, but here, in all seriousness, though.
Yeah.
I swear to God, mark my words, every other fighter is going to have some medical condition. And, I know it's a banned substance, but I got to take this stuff. It's for my health. Okay? And believe me, they'll get a doctor that will say, yeah, he has to take that, right? So I'm not liking this, man. Like if a dude's his blood pressure is so bad and his kidneys is terrible, and he shouldn't be fighting then, right?
Well, like I said, what if it's preventative because of a family history?
Then you have a choice to make. Like during your fight, you don't take it. Like during training camp, you don't get to take it.
You take the chance to develop a fucking disease that kills your family. I'm not going to you.
No. But what I'm saying is, okay, he's not gonna get high blood pressure in the 3-month training camp where he's eating healthy and running and doing road work and all this stuff. You know what I mean? That's not the time you're gonna get. You're gonna fuck up your kidney. That's not the time that you're gonna get terrible blood pressure. You know, the best way to prevent it, eat healthy and don't get fat and all that shit. Right?
Well,
you're a professional prize fighter.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. I hate to, be so gruesome, but it would tell us a lot if we knew how.
We don't even know how old the dude is. We don't even know how old he is.
Like I said,
it's not so easy because your body does different shit when you reach a particular age.
Like I said, all we know his parents died. For all we know, his dad died at 40.
I hear you. So maybe you should be fighting at age 49 then. Okay, like my thing is we don't. I'm thinking about the sport. I just don't want a situation where every other fighter now has some condition and they got to take this. Oh, I know that substance gets used as a masking agent, but I'm sorry. Like I have this condition, I need to take this. Like I just don't want to get to that point.
No, I agree. I agree because I definitely agree because it's like the reality is setting in to everybody now. Like, and here's the thing: he's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
So if he's an older heavyweight, it is likely he has high blood pressure, regardless of him working out and watching what he eat. Because look at Luis Ortiz. It's not like we talking Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is link muscle.
I wonder if Foreman had high blood pressure.
Yeah, that's why he had to become a minister.
Probably, yeah. That's why. Isn't that one of the reasons he did the whole lean grill with George Foreman grill?
It didn't help him much. It didn't help him much though. It was.
I know my blood pressure went up a notch or two when my daughter came down in that cheerleading outfit.
That's just.
One of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I had to get off the hangout. I had to end the hangout. We got to end the hangout right now. No introduction. Don't tell people who y'all are. We'll talk later. Click.
Had to lock down the home front. Man.
Oh man. But yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
There's going to be no shortage of videos to watch tomorrow. That's for sure.
But you guys get what I'm saying, right? I mean, I don't want to. It's just you guys remember with the testosterone therapy shit.
Yeah.
How that was getting out of hand.
Yep.
Remember John Jones with his excuse? Oh, I took Viagra. You needed Viagra at 29 years old, motherfucker. You need it.
Oh, you're one of the best athletes in the world, bro. You're telling me you're having a hard time. Like, really?
You're right.
Like, come on, bro. You know,
we had these like 40-year-olds that looked like 20-year-olds on steroids.
Yeah, but there was a time where they were giving these exemptions for all this testosterone replacement therapy, and the testosterone levels were unbelievably high. You know, and now, you know, oh, I have this, I have that. Oh, it's for, you know, and now Doc is giving them ideas. Oh, it's for preventive care. You know, like, let's not give them ideas. Right. All right, Doc.
Right, yeah. I had to sniffle.
Good point. Good point.
Right. My nostrils
and then
closed.
with medical, like, we can't look that up. That's private information.
Right. It'd be like I could see it. I could see it now. Doc has started a revolution. Oh, my nostrils was closed, so I had to take a banned substance to open up my nostrils to breathe so I can live.
Yeah, you know, I had to be prevented because my father, when he was older, he had this condition. So, you know, like, it's just like, but that gets used as a masking agent. Yeah, I know that, but I needed it for my own good. And it's just,
right.
If somebody's so unhealthy that they need a shitload of medication, they shouldn't be boxing. You know, I know that sounds like.
It's definitely a slippery slope at the very least.
What was that fighter's name that was taking? He fought out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they found out he wasn't supposed to be fighting, but he was getting exempted to take some kind of medicine because he had health issues.
Yeah.
He had a bad heart or some crap like that. I forget that fighter's name.
Joe Frazier fought almost his entire career. I think it was like after his first or second fight, he got one of his eyes badly damaged in sparring and was legally blind in it. Fought the rest of his career that way. Got cleared every time, no problem.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying.
You learn how to pass those tests, bro. That's how it goes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
It's like the driver's license test style?
Yeah.
You just memorize the flashing lights.
Right, yeah.
Because people just pass you, bro. Like, you know, like it's not, look, there's always that doctor that will, you know, go out there and tell everybody, just like that Donald Trump's doctor that came out and said, oh yeah, Trump is the most healthy guy to ever run for president. You know? Like
wait. How did I miss? You're kidding. I missed this one? They actually said
the doctor came out and said, yeah, this is, he said, I am convinced that Donald Trump is the healthiest individual to ever run for president of the United States. God. So if the doctor will do that, doctors, man, obviously there's doctors out there that are good doctors and they won't put out bullshit. But there's doctors for everybody. I'll just say that. And there's a doctor that if you don't have blood pressure problems, he'll give you blood pressure medication so you can have the medication with you and prove that you were given prescription by a doctor, right? You can get that done.
Yep, it's like the old $1 Million Man saying, everybody's got a price.
Mm-hmm. Now, when I went for my yearly checkup and I told the doctor, hey, I'm going to go to a vacation, I need you to make up some bullshit reason. And he did it for me. It's all good. It could be done, right? So, like, I'm not throwing accusations. I'm not saying that's what Ortiz did.
Yeah, allegedly, D-style that you mean, right?
Allegedly, but it seems kind of fishy to me. Like, the more and more I think about it, and like it was brought up earlier, if he passed other tests before that, then there's something going on.
Well, if he has, that's the thing. The key is if he has kidney problems. Holy shit! Well, yeah, this is like, you know, a major fucking issue.
We have to investigate the commissions that have approved them for being in fights, and this is going to open a whole can of worms. Okay, and this is just coming off the eve, by the way. I know it's a different situation, but New York just paid the highest amount they've ever had to pay somebody for injury, right? For the
that guy that Mike Perez fought?
Which fighter?
I think what?
That Russian guy that Mike Perez fought, they had to pay like $22 million.
Yeah. You know, so commissions right now, they're already on tippy toes. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, it's, I'm just saying, like, somebody with bad kidney shouldn't be fighting.
That's why I'm hopeful that, like you say, that maybe to the good, that it's a case of they're on their tippy toes and they don't want to miss, you know what I mean? They don't want to miss anything.
Right. Like, I mean, if dudes are allowed to go fight with high blood pressure and bad kidneys, then fuck it. Don't do exams then. You know, like, don't do physicals. Just let whoever fight.
Yeah, it's a question of whether it's preventative or active. If it's active, there's a major fucking problem.
It's a major problem. And if it's preventative, if it's something that you just prevented in the future, maybe just for one training camp, he doesn't have to take it. You know, like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, if it has some sort of like masking effect or any shit like that, yeah.
See, that's what I want to see, man. I want to see how much of this can it be a masking agent? You know, is coincidentally what was found in his blood pressure medication? You know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you, for an absolute personal experience fact, I know of at least one blood pressure medication that can act as a masking agent.
Well, there you go.
Well, what's that, Mr. Doc?
Hydrochlorothiazide.
Okay, so this what Luis Ortiz was taking can be as not a masking agent?
I don't know. I'm just saying I know the hydrochlorothiazide can be used.
Okay.
So all I'm getting at is there are blood pressure medications that can have that effect.
But if we look at this, if it's true, if it wasn't just some fumble of paperwork and Suleiman just fucked up and he didn't realize what he did, that's a possibility. But if it's just flat out true, that they did not disclose any of this to get some type of exception, that's fishy as shit. All right. And if any of these substances can be used as a masking agent, they're in the banned substance list. They're either an enhancer or they can be used as some type of masking agent. So more than likely. So it's very, very fishy.
Well, a lot of times these things are on the banned substance list because they're not sure of what it does. But it's just something that's unnatural.
Right.
There are things on there
that
the Meldonium
was in.
Meldonium.
Right.
And we don't know what it does, but for some reason, every Russian athlete has it in their system. We just don't know.
Yeah.
And when they
apparently it takes a year to come out your system.
It takes a year, but it could get out of your system and just miraculously come back.
Right.
You know?
That was my favorite part. The fucking disappearing substance that can reappear.
It could reappear, and then it could reappear even greater amount than the last time it appeared.
It's like the Higgs boson of fucking GEDs.
Yeah, this Ortiz thing, man. It's going to be. I can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, like I said, no shortage of videos. There'll be no shortage of videos to watch.
I mean, PP's going to make a comeback. I mean, it's just going to be great.
PP, he will. This will bring him.
I told you guys. I told you that we were doing this.
Oh man, dog. I listen. I actually logged out of Facebook, man. I know I'm catching hell. I know everybody named Mama is tagging me, man, because I was talking mad shit. I put a picture up of an actual old windmill. I took a picture of an old windmill, and then I took that picture of Kong from Skull Island, and I said, I took a picture of Kong from Skull Island, and I said, all you windmill water bump squad fans really think that this can't destroy this, and now it was just
windmill squad. Like that.
Oh man! Matter of fact, I made a meme. It showed a heart. It showed a heart study and a tomato can. Then it showed a heart study and a tomato can. Then it showed the heart shaking. You know, then it showed the heart shaking like about to explode, and I put the picture of Kong from Skull Island right there, and I said, "That's how you damn Wilder fans be acting."
Nah, man, that was Ortiz's blood pressure. That's what that was.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting. I said the Quaker Oats memes are coming for you, Bo. That was a good move getting off Facebook. They're gonna be coming.
Yeah, I said, listen, when Dan read it, I got quiet because I did two things. I had to log out of Facebook, and then I started talking to a couple of my guys down there in Florida, like, what the fuck is going on?
And I just know a bunch of dudes, all these boxers, all of a sudden they're gonna have like blood pressure problems, and I got this, I got that.
Yeah. Well, Shannon Briggs is probably at home. Shannon Briggs is at home, like, damn, why didn't I think of that one?
Wasn't Shannon Briggs? Didn't he claim it was from his inhaler?
Was that it? I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which he does technically, because he does have asthma. But
I mean, when was the last time someone's got caught and they said, "All right, you got me"? Never.
I don't think anybody, that's juicing down at the gym or I don't think they're going to their doctors and getting, inhalers to get their steroids.
When was the last time somebody got caught and said, "All right, you got me"? Shit. At your job?
Well, this year was probably the closest to it because they had quick response. Yeah, we failed because of the medication.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what the funny thing is, though? This does raise a question because they responded very quickly, which tells me they knew that there was a chance that whatever they was taking might come up.
Oh, man.
I'm just being honest because, I mean, think about it. Like, they responded before the boxing scene even told us what it was.
Yeah, the possibilities range from, borderline, benign, preventative medicine to fucking gigantic fucking clusterfuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. That's why I to your point, Styles, this was a clusterfuck. Somebody forgot to do their job and turn the paperwork over.
I gotta ask, but what is it with these? I don't know if they're promotional companies or what, but these companies like Dade and how do you pronounce it? Kariba?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Caribbean. But he's with Dade. Yeah, he's with Dade County though. Yeah.
But what is it with these? I mean, this litany of horror stories these Cuban fighters have dealing with these people that they end up with.
Because they helped them when they defect, so they stay loyal to them because they helped them.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they basically kind of hold it over them to an extent.
Yep.
I mean, there's that, and then they're just like let's say somebody helps you out, right? And
Right.
even if they're not like holding, they're just not really good at this. It's hard to fire someone because if they're trying, but they suck at the job, it's kind of hard to fire them.
And then you don't have a clear understanding of how it works either yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that they helped you get out of fucking Cuba, which is no mean feat. That's like escaping prison.
Right. And you know what, too? And think about this. You helped me escape somewhere where I have nothing. And in my eyes, you're giving me the world. Now, in our eyes, you ain't getting shit. But in their eyes, you know what I'm saying? That's like if you have no money, if a person has no money, I mean, absolutely no money, and you give them $1,000, they think, man, you gave me the world. But if you're walking around with $20,000, you're like, shit, I just gave you $1,000. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. America's a completely different reality to Cuba. It's got to be kind of a bit of a mind fuck. You know what I mean? If you grow up there and then you come here later in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the old mechanic trick, because I used to, when I was younger, I worked at a car dealership, and people would bring in their vehicles, right? And there was this one instant where this lady had like a loose tire, but all it was is that the bolts weren't tight. That's all it was. But the mechanic,
no, upsell time.
The mechanic, he ended up doing some other stuff that probably needed an update, fixed eventually, but it wasn't like that's not the reason the tire was loose. And and like you said, he upsold it, and but he made it sound like he just gave her a great deal. you know, and she left so happy. You know, and even if she tells like one of her friends, like, oh, I went to the dealership and they fixed my, you know, my tire was loose, they fixed it, and you know, usually, you know, it costs $200 to do it, but they gave me a special at $140, you know, or whatever. You know?
Oh man, that women perfected that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked it on
Women perfected that. Yeah, women perfected that. I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, and get as much sex as you want. Oh, I'll marry you. I ain't doing none of that shit. Did I?
and half of the time I'm tired. Okay, so
right. But if you cheat, I'm taking all your shit.
Please. Oh yeah, they perfected that shit for real. Anyways, guys, it is getting late. You guys got any final thoughts?
Fuck the heavyweight division.
I'm still gonna support my guy and talk my shit. He's knocking out Bum Squad.
Well,
yeah, D-Styles. If it happens, I'm still with Bo, man. Your boy's going to sleep.
So my thing, like, is he gonna walk out to the ring with the IV and all that, or like, what's the...
Oh my god!
Like Red Fox said, he's gonna have the dialysis machine in the corner.
Oh man, you made my water come out my nose, man.
Can you
right? Yeah.
Like after the fight, he can't get the interview. You know, because so
they gotta. Hey, listen, they gotta. You know how the other team goes in and watch you get your hands wrapped.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to watch Luis Ortiz get dressed. Don't go in that bathroom by yourself. Come here. Come here. Leave the door open.
I would have been shocked right now. Like Ortiz's people are like, "Hey, you gotta get to the hospital right now." Like, why? I feel fine. No, we're gonna tell you your blood pressure was low. Okay, we're gonna put you in the hospital. We're gonna take pictures with you with IV and everything.
Right.
So people believe us.
I can see him now, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be a 1 hour delay for the fight. Luis Ortiz had to stop and get his blood pressure checked at the hospital.
Oh man. Well, he's back from the hospital, folks, but he forgot his mouthpiece there. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he can get sponsorship though. Like he's gonna have like all those medications and shit, like on his trunks.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? It's sad because, oh man, those who don't like Wilder, which I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't. I don't understand why they don't like Wilder. But for those who don't like Wilder, they're just, oh God, I'm just, oh my God. I listen.
If the fight happens and he loses, it's gonna be he lost to a 60-year-old man that should have been on the Quaker Oats, canister. And
oh man, listen. If Deontay Wilder loses to Luis Ortiz, Wilder haters will never have this conversation about Luis Ortiz failing the drug test.
Oh no.
As a matter of fact, they'll accept this excuse with open arms.
But they're not gonna pass up the he was 70 angle. Trust me.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah.
This is. I mean, it's a good thing they got a doctor at ringside. You know that.
Right.
Like the doctor's gonna have that thing that they listen to the heart with, like between rounds, listening to it.
Jesus,
take a deep breath,
man. The jokes make themselves.
Oh man, I can see the doctor leaning in every 5 minutes. He's breathing too heavy. Why is this guy breathing like that? He sounds like a horse.
Well, what do they call that thing that tests your blood pressure? The put over the arm.
Oh yeah, the thing that you put yeah.
It just takes like 30 seconds to do that. They could do that between rounds.
I can see him every round taking his glove off to prick his finger. Okay. Okay.
No, if the blood sugar's a little low, give him some sugar.
The only fight with MMA gloves, so they could do the finger thing.
Then it's going to be a 12-round fight.
Man. I don't know,
man.
man. I don't know. These jokes are not going to stop, man.
Oh yeah,
no.
everybody's gonna have jokes. Everybody's gonna have jokes.
Plus, now, by the way, the commission's got to be like, damn, if this motherfucker dies on our watch, like this is not going to be good.
You know what though? That is something to
Jesus.
think about.
Some Hank Gather shit. Oh no.
Look, if I'm a commissioner, I swear to God, I don't promote. I wash my hands of that shit.
And that, you know what? Now that you mention this, now that you mention this, that might be why Suleiman put that tweet out. Like, what if this guy dies on our watch? Like, what if Suleiman knows this and he's thinking about that and he put that tweet out? Like
he could be dominating the fight, just pass out in the middle of that fight.
I have that. Yeah, I have that. Like I said, I mentioned Hank Gathers because that's the image I had in my mind.
Wow.
It just all of a sudden, bam.
Ortiz is dominating this fight. A right hand by Ortiz, a left hand, and Ortiz goes down, but he wasn't hit. Ortiz is breathing. What happened?
Right. I was just gonna say I could see people now saying, Wilder knocked out Ortiz. No, did y'all not see him grab his heart first and go down? I was like, oh my God. I mean, there's really no winners here. There's no winners.
You know those that running.
There's no winners.
You know when Rocky Balboa runs at Apollo and hits him with that shot and they both fall down?
Yeah.
I could see Ortiz hitting him like that, but Wilder still gets up first.
Right, and Wilder gets up first. Yeah.
And Ortiz is just laying there like he can't move.
It's so
wow, this is. There are literally no winners out of this situation. It's
they don't finish the blood pressure test between rounds. He gets disqualified.
They're going to simplify this. They're just going to make him get a heart transplant.
Jesus Christ. He needs, Wilder's going to have to donate one of his kidneys to the dude, man, if he wants to make this fight happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, duh. Oh.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, my God.
If he donates his kidney to Ortiz so they can get this fight on.
Man, there are literally no winners here. Like now, and I'm thinking about, I kind of don't even want the fight to happen now because there's no winners here.
That's why, dude. That's why me and DStyle said, "You watch, PP's gonna be back over this shit."
Yeah, oh,
he's gonna be. Oh, look! See, I told you, Wilder's team.
Oh man,
it's a conspiracy.
Oh man, look, man, listen, man. I like my man's low play Scorsese, man, but when he started talking that conspiracy, I was over here dying. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. You know? And I'm the half Cuban, and even I'm not finna go that far. Like, oh no, I can't bring myself to go that far. My morals only go so low.
Well, look, the moment we found out, the moment anything's possible, right? I mean, but it's one of those things, you know.
I just don't. I even if you want to say conspiracy, which I get him, I get it. But even if you want to say conspiracy, my thing is, Wilder, who the fuck is trying to protect Wilder like that?
More to the point, like me and D-Style both pointed out, this would be easily 200th down on the list of easiest ways to prevent a fight that you don't want to have happen.
I'm like, man, there was so many ways. Like, come on, man.
If he wanted out of the fight, he could have faked an injury. He could. There's so many other things he could have done. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
because a million things. If they knew about this condition, they could have the commission cancel the fight. There's so many things he could have done.
It was an international conspiracy.
Yeah,
he could have faked an injury when Ortiz was waiting to see what the WBA was going to do. They could have snatched the contract, said, listen, we're not going to wait on you. We're snatching the contract. There's so many. Oh, God, so many ways.
Yeah. Especially, come on. I mean, when there's not a lot of public demand, the sanctioning bodies can do whatever the hell they want. So,
right.
Well, they would have made another title. They would have called Ortiz the regular, not so regular champion or some shit, you know?
Well, you can't. You can't scream. Here's my thing. You can't scream conspiracy when the people you're saying that got conspired against is coming out telling you, yeah, we did it, and here's the medication to justify why we failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Suleiman was just drunk at the time when he.
It is possible. Maybe he got hacked. You never know.
No,
Or
I
just,
think. Listen,
you know,
I honest to God think Suleiman.
And pissed off because he got dragged out of bed and didn't take time to read it all, and it's like, fuck.
No, he wasn't dragged out of bed. Suleiman was dragged in between two string bikinis, and he was handed this information.
Okay.
And he said, first Canelo don't want our belt, now this shit. Fuck.
Yeah. Like, fuck this shit. The one with the last name Ortiz. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you do know what WBC stands for, right?
We be crooks.
No,
There's a new one.
I was about to say World Boxing Council, but go ahead.
Did you hear?
What did you say?
The WBC stands for Wilder's being covered.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe Wilder paid the doctor to give Ortiz blood pressure problems.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuclear. It's gonna be a nuclear war. It's gonna be social media nuclear war.
Oh,
like if it comes out that the doctor's like Wilder's like brother-in-law or something, like we got a problem.
Oh. Oh my God!
People are starting looking up this doctor now.
We was just getting good roasting each other about who was gonna win.
D-Style.
I mean, we were just getting good about roasting each other about who was gonna win.
A fight might still happen.
Yeah, it was just
no.
like
I think the fight still will happen. I think the fight will still happen because at the end of the day, when they look at it, and this is why I think the fight will still happen, because when they look at the end of the day, it's still the best fight to be made from a money standpoint. So if it is really the pills, there'll be some type of paperwork that'll come that say, hey, it was backdated and y'all didn't read the fine print or what. Trust me, it'll be something.
Well, and to that point, it occurs to me that it's been a really, really good year for the sport, and I don't think anybody right now wants to be perceived as the proverbial turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, Mr. Doc. You're right. You are right.
And this fight not happening would definitely be a gigantic turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because this was the fight before the Rigo Lomachenko fight that everybody was looking at.
But it is boxing, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly, which is why none of us are putting our faith in shit.
Yeah. Because remember, October 4th, you got that double header on Showtime.
154?
With Charlo and Lubin, Hurd and Trout.
Yep.
That's the double header main event.
Right. You know, it'd be funny if a Wilder starts posting stuff about like blood pressure awareness and.
Oh, it's coming! It's coming!
Oh my God, it's coming, man! It's coming. It's coming because remember, Wilder tweeted to Ortiz, "Don't fuck up the fight and pop positive."
He's jinxing himself. So
I like Red Fox's joke about how Wilder's probably on a plane already somewhere.
Right. Wilder is leaving America.
He's trying to get as far away from Ortiz as possible.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm gonna go to bed, fellas.
Yeah.
Or play my game or.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to bed, play my game. I got to do something because this I didn't turn my phone off. They're on my ass.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna play
guys.
some fucking guitar, get something to eat. I appreciate it, D-Style, as always, man.
All right, D-Style. Hope to talk to you again one day, man.
For sure. Late.
Peace.